Fidelity is expecting one Bitcoin to be worth $1 billion by 2038. Ooh. With a B. And so you may not have enough money to buy one Bitcoin right now. But what if you could buy a tenth of one?
Facts.
Yeah.
And what if they're right? And in 13 years, one Bitcoin is worth $1 billion. That means you worth $100 million.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
What if they wrong? And it only goes to 500 million? That means you worth 50 million.
Look at that. Like even the way that you thought about that right there, light bulbs, eyes just open.
I'm trying to get us as black people especially to understand you at risk right now anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but if you're going to take a risk, take an educated one.
Facts. What up, D?
What up?
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
It's your boy Bobby D, and we're back here backstage with Bobby D at the Black Wealth Summit here at Florida Memorial University.
Yes, sir.
D, did you know this is the only HBCU in South Florida?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, big shout outs to Ted, Hillman, and everyone that's here supporting here at the Black Wealth Summit. And we got a special guest that just came off the stage, and it's hot. I mean, she's hot. I promise you. Michelle Lilly, welcome her to the stage.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Oh,
Thanks
my gosh.
for having me.
Let me tell you, I was walking with you backstage, and I'm like, so mesmerized by the story, the impact, and the message that you really dropped for those that are attending. And I'm so looking forward for everyone to be able to understand the value around Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and how that's going to change people's lives.
Sure.
So give us a quick introduction. Let us know where you're coming from and calling in. And definitely, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin today.
Okay, well, I live here in Miami now, but I'm originally Chi-Town in the building. Always.
Chi-Town.
I got to give H-Town some shout out too, because I lived in Houston for 16 years before I moved to Miami, but it's Chi-Town in the building.
Yeah, for sure. That's what's up. Now, the topic that we covered or I seen on stage was about Bitcoin. And tell me how you first got started in Bitcoin. I mean, for me, you're like a PhD on Bitcoin for me, as much as I've been doing some research. Yeah.
Well, I do have my master's degree in blockchain and digital currency. First black woman in the world to hold that title.
Oh, give a
Shout
round of
out for
applause for
that.
that. Yeah.
That's a gem
Yeah.
too, just in case nobody heard.
So go ahead.
First black woman in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a gem.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you say that again. I'm like, wait a minute.
You see how she was like, let's make sure they get that.
Let's make sure they get that one, you know. But being that I feel like I have a responsibility. So I don't say that to brag. I say that because a responsibility comes with that. And that's to educate our people about the power of cryptocurrency and being able to use cryptocurrency as a vehicle to create wealth.
Yeah.
But how I got started in cryptocurrency in 2017, I attended a meeting and I was introduced to Bitcoin. It actually was for the second time. The first time I ignored it and, like I said on stage, thought I was smart and, figured like what they doing. I knew something they didn't know when I didn't know anything about it, which is most people. So in doing so, I started investing at $1,200 buying Bitcoin, and it was the year that it went up to over $20,000.
Wow.
Amazing.
And I had to understand it. Bitcoin had my full attention at that point.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what is this? Why did it do it? And how do I do this again?
Yeah.
And so from that, I went on a journey. I had to, like I said, I had to understand it. And so I spent years and thousands of dollars to figure it out. I went and got blockchain certified. I went and got Ethereum, flew to Greece, got Ethereum certified.
Man, she's
Shout
going
out to
deep.
that.
She's going deep. Yeah.
And in January of 2022, obtained my master's degree in blockchain and digital currency, top
Love to
5
hear it.
university in the world,
Yeah.
University of Nicosia.
Yeah.
And since then, I've been not only an active investor in the market, but someone who has been out here just educating and telling anybody who will listen, from my cashier at Walmart. I know we boycotting Walmart and Target right now. So, but when I was, anyone who would pay attention, I'm just sharing. I don't care if you spend $25 every time you get paid. Just buy you a little Bitcoin.
Facts.
Just buy you a little Bitcoin. So just out here championing it, because we have a racial wealth disparity, and we need a hack to close that gap.
Yeah.
The
Right.
traditional ways are not going to get us there because the traditional ways are going away a lot right now, and our means of income and everything is moving fast, and so we need to move fast with it.
Roger that.
Right.
Roger that. Now that's something that's truly like impactful in terms of just understanding how we can close this gap, because whenever I talk about Bitcoin, and just from me just being involved in Bitcoin, I can already see the gaps it's helped me close. And if I'm leaving my people behind, I'm like, yo, how can I keep moving forward and leaving people behind? So it's so passionate to hear that you're not only making the investments, getting the education, but giving back to our community. So tell us a little bit about some of the workshops and services that you offer.
Sure. So, I've partnered with The Source, Ted and Hillman, and we are on a mission to educate 1 million people to utilize cryptocurrency as a vehicle to create wealth.
Oh, give that a big round of applause. She said 1 million. That's what you're shooting for. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Blessings to you.
And so I teach courses from small workshops, which is introductory for people to understand, because my goal is to, a lot of people want to just give you their money.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I want you to fish. So because generational wealth and wealth is built when we pass it on. And so not only do we pass on the money, we need to pass on the education.
Yeah, 100%. And in terms of just my experience of learning and developing, whenever I've been involved with workshop, group learning, and group environments, I excel even more because I see other people that are, number one, may have some challenges, may ask a question that I don't know, and or is just open up my insights into like, man, I never even thought about it like that. So not just, and this is the part about it, not just telling people, hey, go and do it, but giving them the tools to actually do it, which is amazing.
You just touched on something. Community is important. You can't go at this alone, because even I tell people, they want, well, Michelle, you're such an expert. And I'm like, it's not a lot of experts in this space. And technically I would be deemed an expert, but it's so much to learn when it comes to the digital currency space, and everyone has their lanes. Yeah. So you want to link up with a community where I get some of my students that tell me about coins that I didn't know anything about.
Look at that.
You see what I'm saying? So now when they tell me, I get to share it with the other students. Yeah. And so community is important when it comes to really building a portfolio and really starting to understand what cryptocurrency is, And this is not like telling you to quit your day job or, shut down your business. It's saying learn about a new money that you're going to utilize anyway, because most of us, the reason we haven't made the wealth gap we have right now is because we are financially illiterate. Yeah,
100%. And I like the way that you describe Bitcoin in terms of the new money. Tell me a little bit more on like what you have received from people pushbacking, like, hey, I don't want to get into it, or maybe hesitant and stuff like that.
One of the major criticisms that I've heard about Bitcoin is that it's volatile, that it's too volatile. But, I invest based on data. And so the reason why most people can't stand the volatility is because emotionally they can't handle when it drops. Yeah. But like right now, Bitcoin is down compared to 108, but it's all been about where you buy, right? Because if you would have bought 2 months ago, it was $68,000. Right? If you would have bought last year, it was 40 something. If you'd have bought the year before, it was 24. So it's all relative to when you get in. I say you'll pay the price. You'll get the price you deserve.
Yeah. But what I'm really getting to is just trying to debunk or give people some like insights into like those questions that hold them back from making this type of investment.
Sure. So volatility is definitely one. I get that all the time. But let's do the math and let's do the facts. Bitcoin has outperformed every asset class over the last 15 years. So if you're looking to get rich quick, then you might say that. You got in and 2 months later you want to be rich, then okay. Yeah. But if you look over time, like I gave the Big Mama story. Yep. My mother bought Bitcoin at $2,200. Didn't even know it was Bitcoin. She called it bigger coin.
Big shout outs to Mom, though. I seen that video on her birthday. She was there jamming.
We was jamming, and she was excited because Big Mama in Bitcoin now. So Big Mama like, I got Bitcoin. I'm happy. And so, she didn't know what it was. So what keeps us away too is our ignorance. And because we don't understand it, we shy away from it. But we'll go throw our money in something totally like you don't understand how the casino works against
Facts.
you.
Yep.
But you'll go, I got $2,000. I can go into the casino tonight, you know. So I would say education is one of the things. And then one of the things that I get all the time, which is so interesting to me, is that, well, what if the internet goes down? And my response to that is, if the internet goes down, do you think you about to walk into your Bank of America or Wells Fargo and pull your money out? Your money, if the internet goes down, the internet goes down on everything.
Facts.
You're not about to go and just waltz in the Bank of America. You know, the internet went down. It's time for me to pull my money out. Well, you got bigger problems if the internet goes down.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Another thing that I've seen on stage that you talked about is just the use case for it. Like,
sure.
I seen when you were bringing up, like, hey, now we do Apple Pay like it's nothing. But before it was like, yo, what is this new app? Like, do you feel like that adoption will help, us move our mindsets away from that?
Sure. They're putting in the infrastructure right now. And what I'm encouraging people, another reason I'm encouraging people to get into the market is because you want to be investing in the infrastructure. These coins that's on the cryptocurrency market, they're building the infrastructure that allowed, no different than the internet when apps were being built.
Roger that.
They're building the infrastructure. Amazon was building an infrastructure for a retail market. Yep. So if you would have invested in Amazon in those years, Google was building an infrastructure for the encyclopedia to go away. And so I shared about Blockbuster. I'm still, like I said, some of y'all probably still owe late fees. Y'all glad Blockbuster went bankrupt.
Facts, right?
I like Blockbuster.
The good old days, right?
A lot of memories there.
Hey, but hey, did you turn that movie back in, though?
Exactly.
If not, that's that $3 charge fee they do already.
Right? But it's so true in terms of just adoption and evolution and evolving and going, where the direction and the wind is blowing. It's like my mindset has always been to not, everybody's like, hey, go against. No, you got to go with the green. What is, you're already seeing it.
The trend is your friend.
Right. It's like how easy it is right now in terms of money. You mentioned this on the stage. How many people carrying cash in their pocket?
Right.
Me, I'm definitely not. Who, me going to carry cash?
I'm still old school.
Come on. You're an 80s baby. That's why.
I'm an 80s baby. I still carry cash in my pocket. My mom always say, if you don't have no money in your pocket, you're not a man.
Oh, look at that.
I'm from Chi-Town, so I carry some cash just because I don't know who I'm going to have to pay.
There you go.
I might have to pay somebody to make something happen for me while I'm out.
There you go. I'm not alone. I appreciate it. Shout out to that. Shout out to that right
now
there.
to move in these streets. But in general, it's like this momentum that I'm really hoping that events like this, summits like this, or even just our vibe, the scene, that people can just understand, like, we're doing it for them, right? Yes. We're not trying to put up a front and make you feel like you're speaking to a banker. No, we're talking your language. We understand. We know what it means to carry money in your pocket. Mm-hmm. So, hey, you need to make sure you have a wallet with a few Bitcoins in there.
Absolutely.
So if a situation comes up, you can make a transaction.
You said something, and I want to semicolon what you said about a wallet with a few Bitcoins. One of the things that I gave on the stage that I hope people really caught is that Fidelity is expecting one Bitcoin to be worth $1 billion by 2038. Ooh. With a B. Let's make that with a B. And so you may not have enough money to buy one Bitcoin right now. But what if you could buy a tenth of one?
Facts.
Yeah.
And what if they're right? And in 13 years, one Bitcoin is worth $1 billion. That means you worth $100 million.
Let's get it.
What if they wrong? And it only goes to 500 million. That means you worth 50 million.
Look at that. Like even the way that you thought about that right there, light bulbs, eyes just open, right? It's like, take the risk. What do you have to lose, right?
So one thing I didn't share on stage was in 2020, this was I had learned about Bitcoin. So I still had some Bitcoin, but I had $34,000. This was during COVID. And I had $34,000 in my bank account. That was it. I'm not talking about, I had some Bitcoin, but I play Bitcoin is my savings account. That's how I look. It's my treasury.
Yeah.
And so I took my bills every month was $4,000 at that time. And I took $30,000 and put it in the market. And it turned to over $1.2 million in less than a year.
Round of applause right there.
Because in my mind, $30,000 wasn't any money.
Yeah.
And in the big scheme of things, it's not. I was going to spend it anyway. So either I was going to blow it this way or I was going to blow it that way. But either way, I had to go make some more money.
Facts.
I just pressured myself to do it. You got $4,000 left to pay your bills next month.
Yeah.
And you got to go get, and you better go get some more money.
Yeah.
But it was the decision that I made to take the risk because I was at risk anyway. And that's what I'm trying to get us as black people especially to understand. You at risk right now anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but if you're going to take a risk, take an educated one.
Facts. With the projected trajectory heading in that nice grace growth that we all need to be looking for, not that quick rich, right? And I don't know if you mentioned it or the speaker before said something about being rich versus wealthy, right? We don't want to get no quick rich. We want to build something that's going to build wealth.
Absolutely.
Right? Oh my gosh. One question I do have for you, because I do find, at least when I speak to my elders about Bitcoin, one of the things that they come up with is like, hey, this new Bitcoin ETFs, and looking at their 401ks and be like, hey, I want to make sure I'm diversifying and moving that direction. So what do you feel about Bitcoin ETFs?
I mean, Bitcoin ETFs is a way for people to, I always encourage people, just get in the market, right? But if you investing in a Bitcoin ETF is no different than you investing in your own Bitcoin. Yeah. So you might as well own and control it and have it in your control.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And I started Bitcoin. This is just a little bit about my journey back in 2015. I was out in Silicon Valley. You know, I was working at Twitter for a minute. So, I'm around a lot of people that know.
You was in that tech world.
You know what I'm saying? And the whispers and talking about the paper that came out. And I'm reading and I'm like, oh, the technology, the concept, blockchain data that can only be written once and can never. Oh, this one definitely. And I was like a little bit hesitant. I had a buddy of mine. I was like, yo, let's go put some money. I was like, you know what? I'll open up a Coinbase account, put $25, dollar cost average, just keep going. And at the end of the day, because I did that, one day I was driving into the city. They said Bitcoin was $10,000. I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even know. And for me, it was like being in the right room, being in the right setting, being in the right environment, hearing that knowledge, and then taking the risk. I didn't have to throw everything at it, but lining myself up so that I get just a little bit, and then just watch it grow. Yep. So it's always in terms of just my feedback that I give to our audience, and definitely those that are going to be following along, because people are going to come following you. and you got 2 books too, so definitely, maybe more. I only know about 2, but in general, it's like you just don't be afraid to take the risk that has the potential to make a life impactful change, right?
Absolutely.
So it's definitely always inspiring for me when I hear these great speakers and minds talking about and bringing it to light, is I'm just grateful that people will have a chance to hear this stuff, right? So I want to say, first of all, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. And the last thing before we end our conversation is, you mentioned something about actionable things. What would you say to the audience, those that didn't get a chance to attend, those that are in the room, be like, oh, I want to hear this stuff? What would be the thing that you want to make sure that they've taken action when they actually hear this?
So if you have a wallet or if you don't have a wallet, get one. You can go to crypto.com and use that. It's simple. It's an app on your phone. You can register for crypto.com. And so if you do have a wallet, so this is now for both people, is to, when we talk about dollar cost averaging, every time you get paid, I don't care if it's $10, $25, $50, get a recurring buy where it automatically comes out. You put it in there and it automatically comes out, and all you do is buy Bitcoin every time. Don't touch it. Don't think about it. Use it as a treasury. Let it build. Let that be your savings account, if you want to say, and just sit down for the next 5 to 10 years.
Sit down.
And don't worry about it. And get wealthy.
Oh, wow. My Lord. Any questions before we end?
Oh, man, I had a lot, but I don't think we have that time right now to say the truth. But there's a lot of people that I speak to. I want to get your opinion on basically, what about the ones that says that, Bitcoin is 100,000, let's say, for example, and you only invested maybe to like 5,000 into it.
That's 5%. Remember, let's go back to the billion. If it goes to a billion and you own 5%, you got 50 million. Yeah. If you don't have a plan to make $50 million in the next 13 years, and let's be real, everybody in their fantasy can act like they have one, but most people don't have a plan to make $50 million in the next 13 years.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
5%, that's your plan right there.
There it goes. In case anybody didn't hear it, 5%.
That's what's up. All right, D Hustle, cue that music up, player. Well, I want to say thank you so much for pulling up.
Thank you very much for the listeners.
D Hustle always hold it down in the cut.
Absolutely.
He got the stickers all stuck on. I don't know what's going on, bro. Come on, man. That's our advertising, man. But anyway, I want to say thank y'all so much for tuning in Backstage with Bobby D. If you did not know, there's a rewind button. There's a button that you go back and listen and watch it again. I want you to press that button, take a listen. We marked it with the special sound. What's the special sound, D? There you go, right? Only here at the Black Wealth Summit. We're at Florida Memorial University.
Yes, sir.
The only HBCU in South Florida.
South Florida.
Big shout outs. And thank you so much for pulling up. And as always, keep doing what you're doing. You got 2 books. Just give some shout outs before.
Yeah,
you got 2 books?
I got 4 books actually.
Oh, my bad.
On Amazon. You can follow me at I am Michelle Lilly on Instagram. And let's get it.
Let's get it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Always, Backstage with Bobby D. Holla at your boy. It's Bobby D.